Imagine stepping into a grand ancient library. The air is filled with the scent of old parchment and ink. Shelves upon shelves of scrolls and books stretch as far as the eye can see. Each one is a doorway to a different time, a different world. In this vast collection, you find a section dedicated to Persia. The shelves here are heavy with stories of great emperors. These are tales of bravery, wisdom, and leadership. One name stands out, Darius the Great. Another follows, Cyrus the Great. These emperors ruled an empire that stretched from the Aegean Sea to the Indus River. They united diverse cultures under their rule. They built roads, palaces, and cities. They were not just rulers, they were visionaries. As you delve deeper into their stories, you discover the rich tapestry of Persian culture. It is a story of greatness, now often forgotten. But here, in this ancient library, their legacy lives on. Darius the Great was a king of kings. He ruled Persia from 522 BCE to 486 BCE. Known for his administrative skills, he built a vast empire. His reign was marked by justice and order. He believed in the power of good governance. Cyrus the Great, on the other hand, was a different kind of ruler. He founded the Persian Empire around 550 BCE. He was known for his compassion and tolerance. His policies were inclusive, respecting different cultures and religions. Darius and Cyrus were both great leaders, but they had different approaches. Darius focused on structure and organization. Cyrus focused on unity and compassion. Together, they shaped the Persian Empire into a powerful and prosperous state. These emperors did not just conquer lands, they built bridges between people. They fostered trade and communication. Their leadership qualities were exemplary. They were visionaries who saw beyond their time. Darius the Great had a vision. He wanted to create a well-organized empire. He divided the empire into provinces called satrapies. Each satrapy had a governor, known as a satrap. This system helped in efficient administration and control. Darius also introduced a system of taxation. Each satrapy had to pay taxes based on its wealth. This ensured a steady flow of revenue to the central government. The money was used to build roads, bridges, and other infrastructure projects. He set up a postal system to improve communication across the empire. Couriers on horseback could deliver messages quickly. This helped in maintaining order and coordinating efforts across vast distances. Darius's administrative genius was unmatched. He created a network of roads known as the Royal Road. It stretched from Sardis to Susa, facilitating trade and travel. His vision turned Persia into a well-knit, functioning empire. Darius was not just an administrator, he was also a builder. One of his most famous projects was the construction of Persepolis. This grand city became the ceremonial capital of the Persian Empire. It was adorned with palaces, halls, and temples. He also built the Suez Canal. This canal linked the Nile River to the Red Sea. It facilitated trade between the Mediterranean and the Indian Ocean. It was an engineering marvel of its time. It showed Darius's commitment to infrastructure development. The Royal Road was another significant project. It was a major trade route that connected the western and eastern parts of the empire. The road had rest stations and inns for travelers. It promoted trade and cultural exchange. Darius's infrastructure projects were not just about buildings and roads. They were about connecting people and places. They were about creating a sense of unity in a diverse empire. His projects laid the foundation for a prosperous and connected Persia. Section 5. Cyrus's Compassion, a Policy of Tolerance. Cyrus the Great was known for his compassion. He believed in treating people with respect and kindness. His policy of tolerance was revolutionary for its time. He allowed conquered peoples to keep their customs and religions. Cyrus issued the famous Cyrus Cylinder. This artifact is considered the first declaration of human rights. It proclaimed freedom for slaves and religious tolerance. It was a symbol of Cyrus's enlightened rule. He respected the cultures of the lands he conquered. Instead of imposing Persian customs, he embraced diversity. This approach won him the loyalty of his subjects. They saw him not as a conqueror but as a liberator. Cyrus's tolerance policy laid the groundwork for a multicultural empire. His compassion made him a beloved ruler. His legacy of respect and understanding continues to be admired today. Section 6. The Liberation of the Jews by Cyrus. One of Cyrus's most famous acts was the liberation of the Jews. In 539 BCE, he conquered Babylon. He found the Jews there in captivity. Instead of keeping them as slaves, he freed them. He allowed them to return to their homeland. This act of kindness is remembered in Jewish history. Cyrus is even mentioned in the Bible as a Messiah. His decree allowed the Jews to rebuild their temple in Jerusalem. It was a gesture of goodwill and respect for their faith. Cyrus's liberation of the Jews was a significant event. It showed his commitment to justice and freedom. It was an example of his compassionate leadership. He believed in the dignity of every human being. The liberation of the Jews is a testament to Cyrus's character. It highlights his belief in tolerance and respect. His actions set a precedent for future leaders. They showed that true power lies in kindness and compassion. Section 7. The Decay of Persian Heritage. Despite the greatness of Darius and Cyrus, Persian heritage faced challenges. Over time, the empire weakened. It was conquered by Alexander the Great in 330 BCE. The glory of Persia began to fade. Many of the grand structures built by Darius and Cyrus fell into ruin. The rich culture and traditions were overshadowed by new rulers. The stories of their achievements were forgotten. The Persian Empire, once a beacon of civilization, was in decline. The decay of Persian heritage was a loss for humanity. It was a loss of knowledge, art, and culture. The contributions of Darius and Cyrus were buried under layers of history. Their legacy was at risk of being lost forever. The decay of Persian heritage is a reminder of the fragility of civilizations. It shows how easily greatness can be forgotten. It underscores the importance of preserving and remembering our past. Section 8. Overshadowing by later empires. The Persian Empire was overshadowed by later empires. The Greeks, the Romans, and eventually the Islamic caliphates rose to power. Each brought their own culture and achievements. The stories of Darius and Cyrus were pushed aside. The achievements of the Persian Empire were often attributed to these later empires. The roads, the administrative systems, and the policies of tolerance were seen as innovations of the new rulers. The true pioneers were forgotten. The overshadowing of Persian history was a result of changing times. New empires wanted to assert their dominance. They wanted to be seen as the bringers of civilization. The Persian contributions were diminished in the process. The overshadowing of Persian heritage is a lesson in history. It shows how narratives can change. It reminds us to look deeper and recognize the true origins of our shared cultural heritage. Section 9. The Resurgence of Interest in Persian History. In recent times, there has been a resurgence of interest in Persian history. Scholars and historians are delving into the past. They are uncovering the stories of Darius and Cyrus. They are bringing their achievements to light. This resurgence is fueled by archaeological discoveries. Ruins of ancient cities, inscriptions, and artifacts are being studied. They provide insights into the greatness of the Persian Empire. They reveal the administrative and cultural innovations of Darius and Cyrus. Modern technology is also playing a role. Digital reconstruction of ancient sites is helping us visualize the grandeur of Persia. Online platforms are making this knowledge accessible to a wider audience. The world is rediscovering Persian heritage. The resurgence of interest in Persian history is a positive trend. It is a reclaiming of a lost legacy. It is a recognition of the contributions of Darius and Cyrus. It is a celebration of a rich and diverse culture. Section 10. Modern Scholarship and its Findings. Modern scholarship is uncovering fascinating details about Darius and Cyrus. Researchers are studying ancient texts and inscriptions. They are piecing together the administrative systems of Darius. They are exploring the compassionate policies of Cyrus. One significant finding is the extent of the royal road network. Scholars have mapped out its routes and rest stations. They have documented its impact on trade and communication. It was a marvel of ancient engineering. Another finding is the influence of Cyrus's policies on later empires. His principles of tolerance and respect were adopted by many rulers. His legacy of human rights is seen as a precursor to modern declarations of freedom. Modern scholarship is helping us understand the depth of Persian achievements. It is showing us the visionary leadership of Darius and Cyrus. It is highlighting the relevance of their contributions to our world today. Section 11. Lessons from Darius and Cyrus for modern times. The stories of Darius and Cyrus hold valuable lessons for us today. Their leadership qualities are timeless. Darius's administrative genius teaches us the importance of organization and planning. His infrastructure projects show the value of connectivity. Cyrus's compassion and tolerance are equally relevant. His policies remind us of the power of kindness and respect. His liberation of the Jews is a lesson in justice and freedom. His legacy is a call for inclusivity and understanding. In a world that is increasingly connected, the lessons of Darius and Cyrus are vital. They show us how to build bridges, not walls. They teach us to value diversity and foster unity. They inspire us to lead with vision and compassion. Remembering Darius and Cyrus is not just about honoring the past, it is about learning from it. It is about applying their wisdom to our modern challenges. Their stories are a guide for building a better, more inclusive world.